Relationship advice. Update. My fiancée, 30 female, and I, 36 male, are having serious issues after her sister interfered with my family's issues. Original story. My fiancée and I have been together 3.5 years, engaged for 18 months and getting married in May. I thought things were wonderful, but we have hit a major problem. I work in the shipping industry and was away from home for the majority of this. Sorry for the long post, got a lot of background that led to this. A little background, my sister and fiancé were best friends through our relationship. I'm very close with my sister and my parents. My fiancé is very close with her sister, and we thought of everyone as our own families. Recently this last year, my sister left her mentally abusive husband for another guy. Her new guy has a bad past and criminal record, and rightfully so, everyone is skeptical of the guy. But my sister's relationship with her new boyfriend is a whole other thing, that I'm not gonna get into, not my business as long as she is safe and happy. Since she has been with this new guy, my fiancé has been very vocal about her opinion of him, that he is a criminal. This has put a strain on their friendship, of course. A little over 3 weeks ago, while going over wedding planning, my fiancé told me she did not want my sister's boyfriend at any of our wedding festivities. She said she was going to approach my sister about it. A few days later, she was afraid to and asked me to confront her about this. I told her I would handle it. Knowing this request would hurt my sister's feelings, I asked my mom for advice on how to handle the situation and how best to approach my sister about this. My mother became upset over it, and was afraid that if I asked my sister this, it would hurt my relationship with my sister. I knew it would hurt feelings, but I wanted to try and find a compromise somewhere in all this. After the conversation with my mom, I told my fiancé how it went, and that it upset my mom. I wanted to give everyone time to cool off, as we still have 3 months till wedding date. I asked my fiancé to please be patient as this was not an easy subject to approach. My fiancé was none too happy about my mom's reaction, and was upset as well. Later that night, my fiancé and her sister had a long FaceTime call, and vented to her about her frustrations. This becomes a problem later. A few days pass, unbeknownst to me my mom had a chat with my sister and agreed to not bring her boyfriend. At this point, they hadn't told either my fiancé or I about it. Then my sister's ex-husband receives an anonymous message on Facebook telling him how my sister cheated on him, and left him for a criminal. It was full of half-truths and assumptions, and coincidentally the few truths it included, were things my sister had only ever told 2 people, my mom and my fiancé. Once the ex-husband told me about the message, crap hit the fan. Next day, I was unaware of the anonymous message until my fiancé told me she had to tell me something. She told me that her sister sent an anonymous message to my sister's ex-husband telling him what she thought was the truth. Fiancé says she only vented to her sister and that her sister took it upon herself to tell the ex-husband. The message included things that were only told to my mom and fiancé, so of course the number one suspect was my fiancé as the culprit of the message, but no one thought she was capable of this. I told my fiancé it would be best if her sister confessed and cleared fiancé's name. She was upset over it all, but agreed and talked to her sister. The next morning, I awoke to a crapstorm of a group text. Fiancé's sister confessed in a group chat including myself, fiancé, sister and my mother. She confessed and explained herself, and as you can expect there were a few heated words at first, but it seemed like things were being cleared up. That was until my fiancé decided that was a good idea to get drunk and tell everyone off. Well then it became just my fiancé telling my mom and my sister how horrible they are in this whole ordeal and how much my fiancé hated my sister's boyfriend. It went on for a couple hours of texts. I woke up the next morning to find out about all this. At first, I was confused and upset trying to figure out what happened and trying to keep peace between my family and fiancé. She thinks I took my family's side and not her side, when I was on her side until she had the drunken outburst. My fiancé even so much as laughed about my family being upset. This was 2 weeks ago, to the day. Over the next week we didn't talk much. A few heated words, but we agreed to give it time to cool off and try to approach this level-headed. After a week, unknown to me my mom came by to try and talk with my fiancé over things. Fiancé was in the driveway leaving for work when my mom came by, and told her she couldn't talk right then. Later that night, fiancé sent an angry barrage of texts to my mom blaming my mom for everything. I have a sneaking suspicion that fiancé was drunk again during this. As I work on ships, I was out of town. I had gotten off work early specifically to come home and work things out, as it's difficult to do these things while away for so long. This was 11 days after the anonymous message, and I was at the airport on my way home. At this point, I thought things were calming down, and we might be able to talk it out calmly. I received several texts from Fiancée about how she refused to pick me up at the airport, and wanted to stay in the guest bedroom when I got home. My parents ended up picking me up at the airport. That was when I found out about the angry texts my fiancé had sent my mom the night before. I arrived home, and had a sit-down chat with Fiancée finally 3 days ago. From what she says, she has no regret and refuses to apologize for the way she acted. She sincerely thinks that her sister was right in sending the anonymous message. We both agreed to stop talking about it for the day, before one of us gets too upset and prevent it from turning into a yelling match. It's been 3 days, and we've hardly spoken to each other in the house. Myself, I can't stand by and let someone intentionally hurt my family. I have talked with my family about it. They are willing to give Fiancée another chance on my behalf. My fiancée says she refuses to be anywhere near my family and thinks I have chosen their side, while I've been trying to keep peace between everyone. Is there some way I can approach this, and still keep both my family and fiancé? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Is there some way I can approach this, and still keep both my family and fiancé? Don't marry a problematic drunk who's mentally 12 years old. That's my absolute best advice in your situation. Because this type of thing tends to only gets worse. Definitely will get worse if he marries her. Pretty soon, OP may only talk and see his family once in a while because the wife still holds a grudge. Then once there are kids, she will probably use the kids to get the upper hand and kids probably won't have a relationship with his side of the family. Her true colors are coming out. Halt the wedding planning. You both need more time to come together or break up. Your fiancé disrespected you and your family. Gossiping and creating drama rather than letting you do what you both agreed to do. She is refusing to see what damage her actions did. She will drive a wedge between you and your family and then it will carry over between the two of you. There was never going to be a good reason for your sister-in-law to stir up drama with your sister's abusive ex-husband. Sorry, but your fiancé is more concerned with being right than doing right. This is not a good trait in a life partner. Yeah, just completely unnecessary drama to this extent too. I agree with others. OP, pause the wedding until you two sort this out. Maybe she'll see the light, maybe she won't, but from what you've shared she sounds awfully determined to judge others and get involved where she doesn't need to. Drunk dialing a partner's family is not freaking okay either, by the way. Jesus Christ, is she 16? I mean, do you want to keep your fiancé? She sounds like a drama llama, somebody who has no trouble burning multiple bridges in a blaze of glory. Think of how differently this could have gone if she hadn't decided to go scorched earth everywhere. She could have said, I don't feel comfortable with this guy with a criminal past at my wedding, and maybe told the sister you guys are keeping a tighter wedding budget and guest list and she can't bring A+1. Simple. Instead, she blabs some things she was probably told to keep a secret to her own sister, who then messages the ex-husband. Like why? It's so unnecessary, and all this leads to further drama, further hurt, and now she's not admitting fault to any of it. At the very least, I would expect her to be mortified this got so out of hand and maybe blamed some of her actions on alcohol consumption, not that this excuses any of it. Your family sounds very graceful. I would just think hard if this kind of a person is somebody you truly want to spend the rest of your life with. How many more fires are you gonna find the next time you go out of town for a work thing? She is not even willing to admit fault, which is not promising this won't happen again. And again, and again. Oof. And now for the update. Well, first off, I'd like to thank each and everyone that replied to my original post. A couple of the replies were a little harsh, but looking back that is exactly what I needed to hear. I broke up with my fiancé almost 2 weeks ago, and when we sat down to talk, she was still adamant that what her sister did was the right thing and didn't care that it hurt my family. She didn't apologize, showed no remorse or any sort of sign that she would be willing to work with me on this. This left me with no choice but to break up with her. The first couple days were quiet, a lot of crying and sleeping in different rooms, no arguing or fighting. Then she went to stay at a friend's house 2 days later, and that is when things got bad. She would purposely come back to the house only when I wasn't there, and bring her sister with her. Took a few more things from the house than we agreed upon, and her sister decided my couch was a great place to change a dirty diaper for her baby, including leaving a leaking dirty diaper on the couch for me to find. Then the next few days started a smear campaign on social media and lies told to friends. Myself, I've stayed quiet on the social media regarding the breakup and keeping my distance, trying to let things cool down. I have now blocked my now ex-fiancé on every platform, including emails, as it was nothing but her trying to drag me into an argument that would go nowhere. Thank you, kind Redditors that helped me see the light. I had a hunch that things weren't all that great, but I needed some strangers to tell me to pull my head out of my behind. If you own the place, I would suggest changing the locks ASAP. Gathering anything that was hers that she left and drop it off in front of her friend's house. And then reward yourself to feel better, watch a movie, read a new book, buy new shoes, etc. And then maybe have a family gathering with your mom, sis, and BF and buy some pizza and stuff to apologize for the craziness and hurt that your ex caused. Way ahead of you. I changed locks the day her sister changed the diaper on the couch. I'm sorry you're going through this, and I know it probably doesn't feel like it now, but you are lucky she revealed herself for who she is before the wedding. You'll have a much better life without her. What I wonder is, if looking back OP can recognize a pattern of drama with this woman. Mostly likely not aimed at him before, or he might have mentioned it, but she must have started drama on the regular with many people, including customer service people. You simply can't hide a personality like this for 3 years. So sorry you have to experience this. Just focus on how lucky you really are to have dodged that bullet. Damn, she would have been an entitled nightmare of a wife. Good for you. I hope your sister doesn't feel guilty about it. I would worry that it might happen. I've already talked with my sister about it. Apparently, there had been times in the past, ex-fiancé had gotten drunk and tried to start crap with my sister about me. My sister didn't tell me about this until after the breakup, but apparently it contributed to my sister distancing herself from my ex. I'd have a conversation with her, please tell me when it happens. Not way later. That was included as well. Actually had to reiterate it, as in my relationship several years before this one, my sister saw red flags and didn't tell me till after the fact. I made sure and told my sister to be sure and tell me pull your head out of your butt the minute the next relationship goes bad. Now for the next story. Update. I, 32 male, broke up with my girlfriend, 29 female, who did not accept my conditions about my family, but everyone says she is the right one and I am the messed up one. So I came here for inside thoughts. Original story. I, 32 male, did not have a long-term relationship until last year, after my mom, 58 female, and my brother, 19 male, involved into a traffic accident 9 years ago, and my brother has disabilities because of it. He has to use a wheelchair and his lower body usage is low, so when he has to walk, he needs to use a walker. He also has really unstable mood changes, due to head trauma and PTSD. This has affected my line of specialty in medicine. Before this, I was planning to be a urologist, and I am currently a physiatrist who is a fellow in algology. My dad is out of the picture since my brother is a year old. He has his own problems, deep depression, then self-ending attempts, which was understood he has done due to an actual abuse from his past. Currently his sister is his conservator, so marriage was annulled when I was 17, he can only come with my aunt. My girlfriend, 29 female, knows the situation really well and she knows that I am not separable from them. Sure, we may live in another house. But as long as I can breathe, I will take care of them. I currently live next door to them, and my girlfriend and I were thinking of getting serious, and the engagement talk have started 2 months ago. While we were talking about it, she said this last week, I love your mom and your brother, but I don't want us to be so linked to them. So I want us to move to another city and have permanent caretakers for them, or the other family members should take care of them. At first I laughed, but then she looked at me with a stern face. I thought for a minute and said with a calm voice, well, I am not leaving my brother and my mom, so, if you have any other thoughts, you can leave and we can end this right now. She was looking like she was shocked and I again coldly told please leave. She took her stuff from my house in 10 minutes while she was whining, but I stayed put, and when she was at the door I said, I love you, but I have other commitments that is much more valuable than you. I hope you will understand this. Now all of my friends and coworkers say I am an a-hole and they think I am a robot who is emotionless. Normally I wouldn't give a damn, but everyone unanimously agreed I messed this, so I came here to take some advice on how should I navigate in future. Now for the top advice before reading the update. There's nothing wrong with you having the care of your mother and brother as a non-negotiable priority. But your communication of this to your girlfriend seemed quite abrupt and cold. You were planning on sharing and joining your lives together, then kicked her out after the first hurdle/obstacle and planning a future together rather than discussing it together. Exactly. If you want a partner in life, you need to give them the kind of respect and love you give your family, or they're not a partner. Your reaction to her made it clear to her that she's second class and always will be. OP, until you're ready to make someone else in your life equally important to your mother and brother, you are not ready for a serious relationship. That doesn't mean abandoning your family, but it does mean you have to have serious conversations instead of kicking them out at the first sign of trouble. Exactly, he's completely ignoring the fact that if he married/committed seriously to someone, they'd be his family too. But doesn't seem like he'd be willing to show the same devotion to them as he does for his original family. If you were considering getting married to your girlfriend, she is also your family. You basically told her that she is not your real family. This is the root of the problem. Which makes it clear that all her concerns that prompted this conversation are valid whether her solution was the right one. When I read the first comment, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, and then it surely did. You are in the right to want to take care of your family. That's not inherently a problem, and you can obviously have a healthy relationship by balancing effort with the person you're with and communicating all of this up front. It seems like you've done all of that. Once your immediate response essentially was, "This is how it is, bug off," you became the a-hole. I think what she asked wasn't unreasonable, but I also wouldn't think it would be unreasonable for you to decline. How you declined was absolutely unreasonable. Her response to that shouldn't be too unexpected. And now for the update. I decided to talk with my ex to say sorry and sent her the original link. She said, "Wow, you did not even understand you were cold, did you?" And said, "This is something more than a devotion to your family. You are a really good person, someone who can be devoted to a goal and possibly a good doctor, but a good lover, possibly no, and I still have a life to live. Also, speak with your mother and brother. I am sure that they don't like this situation either. I hope you will find a relationship in a healthy setting, but please work on yourself. You are not ready for an later at the moment. Goodbye." After that, I spoke with my mother and she slapped me with her words. Honestly, good for her. His condition is something I am learning to manage, and you do not have to be a part-time dad to him. He did not feel any kind of absence in a father figure because you were there for him, even before the accident. I know this is gonna be hard, but you need to live your own life for a while, without us, but also without someone. You never had your own personality or goals. It always evolved around someone, and honestly, it is not normal. When you were young, you were so hard to approach and acted like a 40-year-old when you were 20. Honey, you are in your 30s and you still have a long life to live. You can't devote yourself to one thing. Sure, it will be good to have a support from you, but you can help us in other ways. We will be fine. And my brother was silently nodding to everything she said. They decided to move to a different district in our city, which is 35 minutes away, and I will go to them once a week. They are moving next week and they will handle by themselves, their wish. Also, I asked my clinical supervisor for a 3-month unpaid leave. He said about time, and I got in contact with a psychiatrist who is also a psychoanalyst, and I will have daily sessions to start my psychoanalysis. Last post was like a cold water for me, and honestly, I did not know I had so much to improve. Thank you everyone. Now for some comments. It sounds like your girlfriend and mom talked about this before your girlfriend brought it up to you. Your mom was hoping the girlfriend would get your situation straightened and it would resolve itself. I hope you know that you were not in the right here. Both your mom and girlfriend agreed your obsession with them was unhealthy. From this and the way you worded, "I have commitments more valuable than you to your future wife," I think you might have been committed to the idea of dedicating your life to your mother and brother more so than actually them. You might be on the spectrum since you have very binary ideas of good/bad. What to do/what not to do. I agree you should not pursue another relationship before understanding what went wrong here. This type of binary thinking isn't exactly uncommon amongst physicians and can be beneficial to your career. Example, when you have very tough decisions to make that otherwise might be clouded by emotion. Also, sending someone the Reddit post about them is almost never the right move. At best, it's you're talking about them online with a bunch of strangers. Another important lesson here is to avoid making life-changing decisions in the heat of the moment. You literally went from 60 to 0 in 5 seconds. A smart decision maker buys time. This may be a serious problem for our relationship. Let's talk this through. By being impulsive. Well, I'm sorry. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.